Hi and welcome to 3 Steps to a Pain-Free Knee. In this video I'm going to show you how you can treat your own knee pain and regain that range of movement that you've lost. I'm going to show you in our simple 3-step method how you can treat your own knee pain all by yourself. The first step in our 3-step method is all about removing the causes of your knee pain, and I'll go into this in a little more detail, but as you're about to see, it's vitally important to have a pain-free knee permanently by removing the causes so you stop aggravating and irritating your knee on a daily basis. Step 2, I'm going to teach you stretches and exercises to remove the pain and regain that range of movement. And in step 3, I'm going to show you other exercises and other things that you can do to maintain a healthy, pain-free knee. Now let me just go back to removing the causes, because for the majority of people that get treatments on their knee pain, they might go see a doctor and get medications, or see a certain therapist, or get cortisone shots, this sort of ultrasound, and it's all about just looking after the pain. In other words, minimizing or trying to eradicate the pain. But at best, it's temporary. Why? Because normally the causes of your knee pain have never been removed. And let me just illustrate this point a little more clearly for you so you understand this. Okay? If I haven't removed the causes of my pain. Now imagine my knee is sore because I keep hitting it with my fist like this. I keep banging on this all day, every day, and it makes my knee really painful. Now, I need your help. What would you suggest if I said, what can I do about my knee? It hurts me. I mean, do you have any recommendations for me? So would you recommend chiropractic perhaps because you've got a great chiropractor, or some cortisone shots perhaps, muscle relaxants, anti-inflammatories, maybe some massage, a great acupuncturist you know, get me to stop hitting my knee with my fist? Well, that's not a bad idea, is it? Actually, that's quite a good idea, to tell you the truth. Yeah, because the cause of my knee pain is me hitting it with my fist, right? Yeah, that's right. So if I stop hitting my knee with my fist, well, that would stop the pain. That would stop the cause. So it wouldn't matter if I got all of these treatments and spent all my money on medications and anti-inflams and cortisone shots. As long as I'm still causing my pain, it's only going to be temporary at best, right? Of course, that's obvious. But it's not so obvious for so many people all around the world that never even think about what the causes are of their pain. And as you can see, it would be ridiculous. You'd throw your money away unless you remove the causes. So that's why step 1 is vitally important. We got to remove the causes so you can stop aggravating and irritating your knee. Now, another thing with knee pain, there are a lot of myths out there. A lot of people believe that, oh, because I was a runner, that my knees have lots of osteoarthritic changes. Well, there's been lots of studies, long-term studies with runners, and they've seen that there's no more osteoarthritic changes in knees of people who have run all their lives to non-runners. Okay? Other people think also that, well, I've got to rest my knee because, it hurts, and so it's probably better if I rest it. And this too is not the case. We get more and more sedentary the older we get. You can imagine when we were kids, we'd run up and down, we'd run around. Nowadays, we're sitting at computers all the time, or we're standing. And the problem is, our knees are not getting enough movement. Did you know a 20-year-old, when he gets out of a chair, uses 20%, 20% of his energy to get out of a chair. A 70-year-old getting out of a chair uses 90% of his energy. We lose muscle mass, we lose strength, we've got to get our knees moving again. I'm going to show you what you need to do. Now, before we go into this, we need to find out, is your knee pain a knee problem, meaning a knee pathology, or is it actually referred from somewhere else? So if you have knee pain centered at the knee, and you have maybe even some referred pain further in the leg, that can be indicative of a problem with your knee. However, if you have pins and needles or numbness in somewhere in your leg, well, that's not normally indicative of a knee problem. That's more of a lumbar problem, okay? So if you've got pins and needles or numbness in your leg there with your knee pain, I would be thinking more it's probably a problem with your lumbar spine. And if you want to learn more about that, you have a look at my video that I've got 3 steps to a pain-free back, and it shows you how to remove disc-related problems, sciatica, that sort of thing, and it can also produce knee pain as well, coming from your lower back. So if you've got knee pain, but pins and needles and numbness, I would be thinking more likely it's a lumbar pathology, not directly from your knee. Likewise, if you've got pain radiating below your knee, well, that can be from a knee problem. But if you've got pain, like knee pain and pain radiating up into the thigh, then that's not generally from the knee. Once again, I'd be thinking more about a lower back problem rather than a straight knee problem. Okay, so first and foremost, let's look at step one. Let's find out what are the major causes of knee pain. Okay, so what are the major causes of knee pain? Now, okay, there's a certain amount of people that twist, they fall over, they twist the knee and that sort of thing. But the majority of people don't actually do an incident. Their knees just, they don't really know what happened. They were doing things and then suddenly their knees start to become painful. And then they start to use their knee more, less simply because it becomes painful. Then they go on this downward spiral. It becomes painful. They lose range of motion, range of movement, and it becomes more painful, gets stiffer, and so on and so forth. So what are the major causes apart from a fall or a twist on your knee? One of them, as I mentioned before, is inactivity. We are so sedentary with our lives these days, we've got to get out and get these knees moving. We've got to start bending and straightening and moving. You see, in the joint there's synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is basically the oil of your joint, and that's produced by movement. So if you don't start moving your knee, you don't get that lubricant in your knee. So we've got to get you more active. There's no doubt about it, all right? Less activity, no. We need more activity in that knee. Get it moving. The other cause or causes is prolonged standing, okay? And we're going to go into this in a little more depth. But you know, we stand up the whole time, just in this position, and these knees lock out and they get stiff and sore from being in one position the whole time. The other thing is crouching or squatting. You just crouch or squat down for a long time and you know what it's like. If you're squatting for a long time, you get up and you, oh, my knees, okay? They don't like to be in these positions for long held time, so you're going to have to break up the amount of time that you're either standing and likewise sitting, okay? And you know, if anyone's had their let's say you had your arm in a cast like this, say you had a wrist problem, you had it strapped like this, you know what it's like just after a couple of days when you've got this elbow bent and you take it off that sling and you go, oh, and it's so stiff and sore. That's just after a couple of days. You can imagine there's long time prolonged standing or prolonged sitting or squatting or crouching. It's the same thing. They need to move the opposite way. So let's just see a little bit about that in a second. Now the third thing is your body weight. There's a very strong correlation between knee problems and excess weight, and it doesn't take much to lose a bit of weight to have your knees in a much healthier state. So if you are overweight, just shedding a few pounds can make a major difference to your knees. So let's just have a look what we can do if you have to stand on the job or you're standing a lot, what you can do to just help those knees. So if you have to stand a lot, maybe it's your job and you're having to stand a lot, what you want to do is just to stop this locked knee position the whole time, is give these knees a break from that position. So what you can do, you can sit down, get down into a chair and just bring your knees up like this, taking it up and bending these knees, okay? Both sides. Now if you've got a sore knee, obviously you've got to be a bit careful, but you're going to just bend these. The other thing you can do, of course, is just work these legs. Get these legs bending. You know, both sides, get them bending. Because, again, they're all locked out. Again, imagine my arm. If my arm was like this, the first thing my arm would want to do if I kept this for a long time, the first thing I want to be doing is going, oh, I've got to bend this, you know? You know the feeling. So it's no different to your knees. So you want to bend them. If they're straight all the time, you want to do the opposite movement, which is bending. Now, obviously, if you've got a bad knee or bad knees, you're only going to bend them under the point of pain. So obviously you're not going to bend them so it hurts. You're going to do it just under or just up to that point of pain. So we're going to start doing that. So walks, break it up, get your knees bending if you have to have them straight all the time. Now, the opposite is true if you're sitting the whole time. All right? Now, if you've got to sit down, which most of us do anyway, we're sitting at the computer with good posture, I hope. So you're sitting here. Now, but if your knees are bent that whole time, then what you want to do is straighten them. Excuse me, straighten them. Now, Again, you can just do this under your desk. It's as simple as that. Straighten them out, get them moving once again. Now we're moving the joint, we're strengthening the muscle, and you can also just contract them. If your bad knee can't extend, completely straighten out, we're going to work on that in a moment. So, but just for the moment, just think, while you're working there, you can put something up on your computer if you want to, and just get some movement back into those knees. Likewise, you get up, walk around, take a walk around, stretch out, because from this bent position, they're going to need to straighten out. Bend, do the opposite, which is straighten. If you're standing up, straighten, you want to bend them. You're going to do the opposite motion. Likewise, if you're sitting, try not to have your legs, more than a 90-degree angle, okay? If you can, get them out a little bit, all right, so they're not so much, maybe a little more 120, not so much 90 degrees, so it's not such a compression on your knee. Okay, so that's what you want to do. If you have to stand a lot, you're going to bend your knees. You're going to break it up with bending and bending and bending. Likewise, if you sit a lot, you're going to get up, you're going to walk around, you're going to straighten them out, okay, doing the opposite motion. All right, now what we're going to do a lot of the time with knee problems is you lose that extension, okay? You can't straighten the leg out. So what we're going to do, we're not only going to strengthen your leg, because one of the problems with knees are, again, it's a downward spiral. With a lot of knees, those quadriceps, which are absolutely vital to have strong quadriceps, your thighs here, you must have strong quadriceps for your knee health, okay? Now, fortunately, weak quadriceps have been shown to lead to injuries with knees, and so weak quadriceps can bring on knee pain, and also knee pain can lead to weak quadriceps. So it's very much a vicious cycle. So what we're going to do is a very simple exercise to get you to start strengthening these quadriceps, and the strength comes back very quickly and gives you that protection in your knee. So let's say this is my bad knee, this right knee. What we do is get a pillow underneath the knee, okay? And what you're going to do, you can just sit back, and what you're going to do here is straighten the knee. Now, if it's painful to do it, you're going to do it just under or up to that point of pain. In other words, you don't want to be going, that really hurts. No, bring it back. You want to come just under that. I can just start to feel that edge of pain. Okay, so we're tightening up that quadriceps. You're going to do it, hold it for 5 seconds, quite a firm contraction here, and relax. You're going to work your way up to 30. All right, 5-second contraction and relax. If you can only do 15 before you really fatigue, that's fine. But you're going to try and work your way up to 30. 30 repetitions, 5-second contractions. All right, if you can't straighten your leg out completely, that's fine. You're going to go just to the point where you can. And you should feel that quadricep, that thigh, really contracting there. 30 repetitions, 5-second holds. You're going to do this every day, okay? If you can do that with no problems, then you're going to move on to this next exercise. So once you've done those exercises and there's no problems with your knee, what you can then do is take the pillow right to the end there and prop up your knee like that. Okay, now I've got my knee slightly bent, all right. Again, what we're trying to do is get you to be able to straighten your knee out again. Once again, you can just settle back, and what we're going to do is we're just going to straighten it down.